Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to this week's XMS RICMOTECH Truck Series race live from across the border up in Canada. It's Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Joining me up in the broadcast booth with me is my one Tuesday night good buddy. Unfortunately, we're missing Ryan Fry, which hopefully he's having his night is gonna get better. Hopefully, when he turns on the broadcast and sees some of these trucks going left and right. It's Mr. Gary Wells. Gary, how you doing, pal?
Doing really well, AJ. Good to be with you here north of the border. I mean, this is your second night in a row overall on the channel being north of the border, but
yeah, first night it was on A car. Now it's on your bill. So
yeah, so
5
way
stars
different track than what you had last night. This place has elevation changes. It kind of reminds you of a Watkins Glen with the flow of the racetrack. But tonight is going to be crazy. We didn't have a setup for this track, so we went with the Watkins Glen setup. Speaking of which. But tonight's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of drivers slipping and sliding around this place tonight. I know it's only 68 degrees ambient temp with a track temp of 80, but it's still going to be a challenge for these guys here tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing how who can tame this monster called Canadian Tire.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. There's 10 turns around this racetrack, and each one of them adds their own different challenge to it. You do have the really long back straightaway into a very slow right-hander, as we just saw the 15 try to take it around. But Gary, kind of give us the details of Canadian Tire Motorsports Park and what we've done here in the past.
Yeah, so we've had 2 previous races here in Extreme, and Ed Morris Jr. is not going to be perfect when it's all said and done here tonight. He's won the last 2, really the first 2 races here at Canadian Tire. Season 19, we were here for 45 laps. We had 2 leaders, 2 lead changes. The only caution we had was for the stage. We did do stage racing back at that time. Your pole winner was Ed Morris. Your race winner was Ed Morris. He led 39 out of the 45 laps. And then in season 17, they didn't do stage cautions back then, so we didn't have any cautions in that race, but we had 3 different leaders, 5 lead changes. William Hartman won the pole, and he was really fast back in the A-Day of Extreme. Ed Morris won the race, and he didn't even lead the most laps in that race. He actually led, I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd most laps. He only led 14 out of the 45 laps. William Hartman, or maybe it wasn't William, it was somebody else. They led 18 laps, and I think William led like 11 or 12, 15, somewhere in that range to get you to 45. But this race is going to be different. It's wide open. We're going to have a new winner. We're going to have a new pole sitter. So this race tonight, it's going to be interesting. I think our tricky turns, AJ, tonight is going to be turn 2, which is that first sweeping downhill left-hander that these guys are going to face here tonight.
It's like off camber as well.
Yeah. So it's a really tricky turn to get through. There's a couple of different ways you can attack that corner, and we'll go into that as we approach the race. But these guys are going to have their hands full in just about every single turn here.
Yeah, and one to really keep an eye on outside of turn 2, like you mentioned, is turn 4, 5, 6, and 7, where you're taking the quick left-hander up the hill to a kind of like hairpin 5 and 6, and then you have that long straightaway that runs all the way down to 8. That 5 is going to be one heck of a passing zone, and then through 8, 9, and 10 back to the start-finish line, there's going to be another possible passing zone that we could see tonight. We've seen people get speared. We've seen trucks get spun coming out of the final turn 10. What are we going to see tonight? Well, we are just going to have to wait and see, as qualifying behind us is currently underway. Right now, it is all the 35 Caleb Bacon with a 120.79. In second right now, it's Justin Opplinger with a 120.99. And then Dalton Fredericks with a 121.10. Dalton and Joshua Vidal are still on a go lap. They have this lap remaining for them. Vidal is just about halfway through his second lap, as you see Hutch PC on the side of that Chevy Silverado. Gary, some of these guys are looking and making it very easy. It looks easy, but as what we saw in practice, it is 100% not.
Yeah, no, this place is one of the most challenging places to drive on the schedule. I think it's going to be right up there with the Roval when we go there in the playoffs for these RICMOTECH Truck Series drivers. Those are 2 of the hardest, and honestly, it's going to make Atlanta as Vidal is sideways here.
Yeah, and he's just going to burn it down for the fans.
He's just gonna take the X and start in the top 5 here tonight. But no, I think with a lot of these drivers, it's going to be patience, being smooth. I really don't think speed is going to matter too much here tonight, AJ. I'm sure you're still going to have your fast guys running the 120s and the 121s. But really, I think it's going to come down to, if you want to have a good night here at Canadian Tire, it's about survival. Stay on track, be smooth, execute your pit stops, because it's going to be a 2-stop race here, and just be there at the end of this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what is preached the most to a lot of new drivers. And it's really something good to hold on to, is if you can keep your vehicle on the racetrack, you are basically guaranteed a top 10 and maybe out of the blue a top 5. There are plenty of drivers that overshoot turns, get into the grass, wreck the trucks, cars, whatever vehicle they're in. But if you could stay out of that and keep it on the racetrack, you can come home with a good finish. And with a lot of drivers using tonight as a provisional race, you could gain a good chunk of points as well.
Yeah, I know we still have 22 trucks here tonight, AJ. But like you said, still a really good opportunity if you're lower in points to leapfrog some guys, because there were like another 5 to 10 guys, it seemed like, that took a provisional for tonight's race. So where they didn't want to race this race or whatever, even though you are getting a provisional, 23rd place, not gonna look as good but since you showed up and got points, you're at least going to get 22nd or better.
Before we get to our pole sitter and his interview, let's look at the points coming into race number 4 at Canadian Tire. Justin Opplinger with 157. Then you have Dalton Fredericks with a 153. Paul Irvin a 143. Then a little bit of a fall off, 19 points down to Michael Thwaites in 4th. 5th, Daniel Krim with 124 as well. But that's your top 5. Gary, this is going to be wild. This is going to be possibly a game changer race, kind of like a Daytona, Talladega, where we could get a surprise winner.
Yeah, it definitely very well could be. I think we might see a surprise winner out of this deal tonight. I'm curious to see where that's going to take us as far as that goes here, but I think these guys are ready to get it started here.
Yeah, and here is our team points on screen right now. Team GTS with 277, Carroll Racing with 256, Apex Racing Team 248, then Primetime Motorsports with a 247, Crimson Knight Esports with a 186, and Warrior Enterprises with a 169. GTS and Carroll Racing do really good through 3 races this season. But let's run down that starting lineup real fast, Gary, and then we will pull in Caleb Bacon. Starting on the pole, the 35. What do you know of Caleb Bacon, an outside pole or inside pole? It's Justin Opplinger. In row 2, Dalton Fredericks and Joshua Vidal. In row 3, Jake Bustos and Daniel Krim. Row 4, Paul Irvin, Ben Corson. And rounding out that top 10, Taylor Bertram and Aiden Turner. Gary, take us to 20.
11th is going to be Adam Capps. 12th is Michael Thwaites. 13th is Mike Rominger. 14th is going to be Chris Opplinger. 15th is going to be Hunter Hastings. 16th is going to be Matt Cochran. 17th is going to be Joe Darnell. 18th is going to be Logan Koger. 19th is going to be Kyle Miller. And rounding out that top 20 is going to be Dustin Carroll.
All right, Gary, I see that you got him ready. Why don't you bring in our pole sitter, the driver, the number 35 Toyota Tundra, Caleb Bacon. Caleb, congratulations on the pole. Very fast here this evening. What are you expecting heading towards the stage at 17 and then possibly the finish at 50?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a long race, so I don't know what we're going to see. There should be quite a bit of fall off from what we've seen in practice so far, but I think we've got a good car going into the race, and we just got to stay clean and finish good as a team.
Gary, you got anything for a pole sitter before we let him go get ready for the pace lap?
I mean, it's going to be about strategy for you tonight, Caleb, with that stage caution thrown in there. Is your plans to just kind of ride it out to the stage and go after those stage points because you need them? Or are you going to be probably changing it up on us, maybe pit early? And either way, it's going to be a 2-stop race here.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, I'm planning to run it to the stage because, like you said, I do need those stage points. So with what we've got now, I'm running to the stage, and we'll see what happens from there. You know, your race strategy always never goes to plan, so we'll just have to see what we get.
True. Yep, absolutely. Well, good luck to you out there, and hopefully we're talking to you at the end of this thing.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
And with that, AJ, 50 laps tonight. You know, we talked about it, 123 miles, and that stage is lap 17. And then, of course, that fuel stint is going to be anywhere 17, 18 to 21-ish laps, maybe 22. So it's going to be a 2-stopper no matter what. It's just a matter of when you make that pit stop because you're going to at least want tires at least one time here tonight.
Oh, 100%. While the track is cool, while it's cool for everybody else, once we start losing fuel in these trucks, those back ends are going to get light, and you're going to start chewing up some of those Goodyear Eagles, and you really need to be careful later in the run to make sure you don't put too much power down, because we saw that in practice, Gary, that too much power means a spin into a wall, into a sand trap, or into another vehicle.
Yeah, and it could be a night ender for not only yourself, but it could be a night ender for somebody else. And I know a lot of the guys here tonight. It's just all about survival and keeping the thing on track. And 50 laps of. I think it's really going to be 40 laps of learning in that last 10 laps. That's when the racing, if you can get there, is really going to be where the racing starts to kick off.
Yeah, as we're heading down the very long back straightaway here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, you see all the 2x2 getting ready, drivers swerving, trying to get some heat in those tires. But looking at the tower, 3 Toyotas in the top 20, 2 Fords, the rest are Chevys.
Yeah, definitely a very Chevy field, Chevy heavy field. Just in general with Extreme Motorsports, but I think if you're a different manufacturer, you're kind of the race within the race. If there's multiple manufacturers of you, you want to be the best running Toyota or the best running Ford.
And when we do get a caution, giving it a quick shout out, Elite Entertainment is our caution sponsor for All-Star 15 TV. You'll see them right at lap 17 as the pace car is away. And Gary, we are green here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park.
Clean and green going down into turn number 1. That's going to be the first place where we're going to see these guys get a little hairy here, and then downhill for that left-hander turn number 2.
Oh,
that's also another wild card spot. Car in the fence.
And a car backwards. That's the 29.
Oh, Joe Darnell.
And the 25 of Logan Kogar.
Let's see what happened here, AJ. Let's take a look at that replay.
Joe Darnell is on the turtles to the inside.
Oh, the 25.
Oh. Yeah, and the 25
like
just...
25 got over the curb and into the grass, and it just spun him around.
Look at it from the blimp cam, giving you another view of it. There's the 25 clipping the turtles to the outside. And we stay green, which for all our viewers watching at home, in the sim, we only throw yellows if there is a complete track blockage. And as you saw there, they got moving relatively fast and continued on.
Yep, they definitely continued on. And, it's one of those things where you try to start in the back if you can so you could avoid the chaos, but sometimes the chaos finds you. And it looks like that's what happened with the 25 and others that might have been involved in that. I know the 6 got a piece of it.
Yeah, the 6 is coming down pit road. 6 needs to repair some damage. That's unfortunate for Kyle Miller.
Yeah,
we
Kyle,
have
unfortunate.
Aiden Turner, agricultural racing, heading up.
He's doing some agricultural, and look where it happened, AJ, in turn 2.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. You sounded like a genius, Gary.
Sometimes. Agricultural racing. We try to save that for Road America.
But right back on the racetrack and still going. Only lost 2 spots. So even though he's cutting through the grass, he's still sitting in 12th and has the whole race ahead of him. No big damage on that 15 Chevy Silverado, so...
Yeah, I think the team that it's really going to come down here tonight, AJ, between as far as competing for the win, I think it's going to be those Team GTS trucks versus the Axis Racing Team guys. Because if you look at it here, 1 through 5, it's 2 teams.
Yeah. Spot on. And why don't we talk about our picks for the evening here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park? Gary, take yours away first.
I picked the car that's leading. In all seriousness, I did pick Caleb Bacon before we even did qualifying tonight, but that is my pick. Joe, AJ, who'd you pick? I almost called you Joe. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why. I get the bald part. I understand the bald part.
Oh.
And I took the driver, the number 20, who's got All-Star 15 TV all over that beautiful Ford F-150. Dalton Fredericks.
I think you picked because it's your team.
To be
Not your
fair,
team, but
I think most of the cars in here have All-Star 15 TV on the vehicle
me,
somewhere.
that's fair.
Which
That's
I
fair.
do very much appreciate to everybody showing some love. I very much appreciate everybody for it. But for everybody watching at home, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe. Join us in the comments section. We're sitting at 22 people currently watching. The last couple weeks, viewership-wise, has skyrocketed, so I gotta thank all of you for that. Engagement has skyrocketed, whether it's Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, or YouTube. You guys chatting, having a good time, talking with us. Who you rooting for? Talking about how the racing is. It means a lot.
Yeah, it definitely does mean a lot for us here at All Star 15 TV, and us at Extreme too. I mean, we enjoy, and I know our sponsors do too. They enjoy seeing the viewership here, and everything is just so far been a really good success for us, and I know for you too. You've gotten some more exposure, and so have we. So it's definitely working out so far.
Oh, with Warrior, Hutch Sport, Team GTS, all the guys at Power or Phantom Power Racing.
Yeah.
Appreciate all of you for taking the All-Star 15 banner and running with it and helping me on this journey. But up front, it's Caleb Bacon, a second over Justin Opplinger, as Dustin Carroll having another issue, trying to rebound after the early spin, as he's just going to go a little long in 3.
Yeah, and that's a place where you think you could go into that corner really hard, and you just can't. You have to back that up, get that car to rotate in the center, and hit that curb on the exit there to the inside, and be on your merry way. And that turn 3 is probably, I say turn 2 and turn 4 are the hardest, but that turn 3 can also be really deceiving too.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only really good thing about where it happened, when it happened, there was nobody around him. He didn't hit anything. Might have flat spotted a tire or two, but he's going to be able to continue running. Didn't lose a position, lost one position, but still going all the way to P17. And with that, not P17, lap 17. And for the most part, I don't know if Caleb will get to lapping vehicles at that point. With how he's running, it's a very good possibility.
He might be able to catch Joe Darnell, but that would probably be the extent of it. Just want to shout out Connor Coleman watching us in the YouTube chat. That's great. I'm glad you're rooting for me, but I'm not on the racetrack. I'm here in the booth. I accidentally joined as a driver, so that happens every once in a while.
Yeah, usually it's the race control that does it, and it's kind of funny because I have them squared away with their own little color, so I can tell them the difference.
It helps. It helps.
It very much
But
does.
I tell you what, Caleb is putting on an absolute clinic. I'm trying to see if we can find any kind of battle. I think.
Well, here comes the 12, Michael Thwaites. These last couple laps, he's been running significantly faster than Irvin, Ben Corson, and Bustos in front of him. He's running them down. So I'm curious on how long it's going to take for him to get there.
Well, we were going to have a battle, I thought, between the 5 and the 2 as well, Taylor Bertram and Adam Capps. Adam was really closing in on Taylor, and then Adam made a mistake at the exit of 1. Got a little too much curb, hopped the curb, and, now Taylor's going to pull back away. So one of those things here, and it is a home race for that 5 machine. One of our only Canadian in the field, so it is his home country race.
And here comes the 2. Adam Capps on our Monday series. Last night we were at Montreal. A great race overall. Nobody was touching Tyler Aspinall, but had a great race. Showed a lot of road course talent, and he's bringing it again tonight.
Yeah, definitely bringing it again tonight. And I mean, we've got some battles here brewing a little bit, like the 15 of Aiden Turner and the 54 of Chris Opplinger. Those guys here back edge of the top 10 into the top 15. And shout out to Nate Orlowski. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Why not? He started P24, and he is running a solid 15th right now. So kudos to Nate. Give me a chance to talk about you here while you're not spinning, because you said the only time you'll talk about me is if I wreck. Well, you haven't wrecked yet.
Wait.
Well, he saved it. All right, cool. So you didn't wreck when I talked about you. So there you go.
And I think with the amount of practicing he put into it, he didn't know he was going to race until probably maybe an hour before the lobby opened. A couple of us kind of coerced it into him to do it. But realistically, he really got in the car and just ran.
Yeah, he got in the car and ran those laps, and so far, I mean, it's nothing, that's gonna blow off the page, so to speak. But he's been one to where he can adapt pretty quick and get behind the wheel and go, and he's definitely done a good job of that today so far.
And he's only a second and a half to almost 2 seconds slower than Caleb right now. So he's very much improved with his lap time, because I think when he first started it was like a 1:38, and he's currently running a 1:24. So
yeah, and that's the goal when obviously, I don't care if you're road racing, oval racing, I don't care, dirt or asphalt. Every time you get out on that track, AJ, it doesn't matter what car you're in, the goal is to get a little bit faster and a little bit better every time you go out there.
here's a great battle brewing. The 47 of Daniel Krim, Jake Bustos, and Ben Corson all under a blanket, and they're heading towards the hairpin of 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, they've done a really good job catching up to Daniel here. I don't know if Daniel made a mistake or anything, but the 74 and the 10 have really been working together to catch up, and they kind of pulled away from Paul and from Thwaites a little bit here in that 12 machine. So I think it's going to be a 3-truck battle here once they get down into turn number 8.
Now, speaking of this long back straightaway, Gary, is there any bit of a tow that these trucks give each other on this back straightaway? Is there any bit of a draft?
Oh yeah, you'll definitely be pulling a little bit of a draft here at down the Andretti straightaway, as they call it here at Canadian Tire. You know, by yourself you get up to about 155, 160, but when you're in the draft, you definitely feel it. You'll get up to about 165 to 170, maybe even 175. Yeah, so it definitely does make you faster going into 8 than you expect, and you almost have to back up your corner just to make sure that you can make the turn.
Yeah, as we're watching this battle, you really saw how good Krim was getting out of 7 all the way down the Andretti straight. But once they hit the little bit of a technical ending part of the lap, that's when Bustos and Corson caught right back up.
Yeah, and I think that's where Daniel is really at his strongest, you know, in the flowing corners where, you know, he could just get back to the gas and not necessarily hold it wide open, but that's definitely where his strong suits are, where the more technical corners. I think that's where the 74 tends to shine, and definitely Ben as well. But you see the run that the 74 got through the hairpin there, and now as they're coming down the Andretti straightaway, he could definitely make a haul here for a pass, probably here within the next lap or so. He's definitely been running down that 47 for sure.
Also clipped the grass, a little bit of a kink there. Gonna step off the gas a little early and let it coast into the turn. He is setting Krim up big time.
Yeah, he's setting Krim up here. If he can just get out of turn 10 here really well, and maybe even down, he could make another attempt to pass. Probably turn 3 or probably turn 5, I think, is going to be the next passing opportunity. Yeah, this is one of the hardest turns on the circuit. You got to be able to hold it to the bottom as best you can, or at least stay within the rubber line, so that way you're not getting out into the marbles.
And there goes Krim extending it a little bit further, but you're gonna see Bustos scoot right back up to him. As we're gonna take a little bit of a look for second and third. Opplinger, the 51, and Fredericks, the 20. About 2/10 separating them as they're going to head down the turn 8.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those battles, I think. If Dalton can get around Justin Opplinger, road racing these days for Dalton Fredericks, this is bread and butter. So Wouldn't surprise me if he could get around Justin, if maybe he could make some noise with that 35 of Caleb Bacon.
Honestly,
But
you
like we
said
talk
it.
about all the time, AJ, catching is one thing, passing's another.
You said road racing is his bread and butter. I think anything with a motor and tires is his bread and butter. We've seen him good in
Oh,
basically
that's true.
anything he's run.
Yeah, he could get into pretty much anything and adapt on the fly really well. But these days, he's really been working hard on his road racing, and you could see it's paying really good dividends for him.
Oh, it's Dalton sent it. And he's going to stay right on the back bumper of the 51 as he's going to clip the inside turtle. And it's going to slow the 20 down, letting the 51 get away a little bit. But as they're battling, Caleb Bacon is pulling away. Already on lap 11, too.
Yeah, and you're going to get about 21 laps here. So, I mean, you know, I think Caleb, like he said in the pre-race interview, I think he's going to be one to hold it out here, as the 35 is entering some lap traffic here with the 92.
Just
got around Dustin Carroll there, so the 51 and the 20 are going to have to contend with that as Dustin gets out of the way and lets these guys go by. Next group of cars are going to have to deal with is going to be the 25 of Koger and the 24 of
Mike Campiggio.
Thank you. I don't know why I blinked, but I blinked right there. I'm sorry, guys.
I feel like I heard you like snapping your fingers, like, well, what the? That's that guy, the guy with the face, the two eyes,
blonde hair, the glasses. You know that guy. Yeah, that typical guy. Yeah. Wow. Sorry, Mike. Don't kill me too hard after that.
Which you got news to release, I think, in the next like week or so. Which I can't wait for everybody to start seeing what you and him have up the pipeline.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're kind of waiting on the finishing touches, but we've kind of rebranded the Off and Turn One podcast and take a little different approach with it. We're going to be talking about all things sports. We'll talk about sim racing, of course, but I think you guys are really going to enjoy something a little different from the norm of sim racing for All-Star 15 TV and racing in general. I think you guys will enjoy this show that we've got planned.
As there is the 35, a 2-second lead over Justin Opplinger and Dalton Fredericks. You're watching All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the Extreme Motorsports Racing RICMOTECH Truck Series live from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. We will be right back, but you're not going to miss a thing. We're going side by side.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
We're back. It looks like Caleb Bacon trying to put down the 25 a lap, and that is Logan Kogar. But Kogar's trying every little bit to stay on the lead lap as we're coming to the white flag of the stage, brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast, as Bacon's got the inside and down into turn one. And he's going to make that pass.
Yeah, he's going to make that pass pretty easily over Kogar.
Oh, it looked like Kogar was very much fighting him there.
Yeah, he was definitely fighting to stay on the lead lap there because he knows he wouldn't have had to take that wave around if he would have just stayed in front of him. But
you know who's happy about that fight, though? Mike Campiggio being able to pull away just a little bit more.
Little more, that's right. Well, as long as he doesn't have anything catastrophic happen here in the next couple corners, he's gonna stay on the lead lap pretty handedly here, I think.
Yeah, as we are on that white flag lap for the stage, looks like we're gonna be talking to Caleb Bacon twice.
Yes,
two out of 2 interviews we have this evening.
Yeah, what we're gonna have here is we're gonna have a nice little battle for 9th place in the stage between the 48 of Paul Irvin and the 5 of Taylor Bertram. And I think these boys made it a lot farther than I think both of them were thinking they were going to make it tonight. So
yeah, but I heard that
and they're running really
too with Irvin and Caps.
Yes, yes, indeed. But
Caleb Bacon's going to win the stage,
no
but we're going to wait until obvious P10 crosses the line. Well, this is the battle for 9th. Can Adam Caps get to the 5 at all? Just the S's to go.
And can the 5 get to the 48? That's going to be a point as well. Round in turn 10 for the final time. It's going to be Bertram in 10th, Paul Irvin 9th, and that caution for the stage should be coming out any moment. Throw the flag. Where is the caution?
Was I early?
I don't think you were early. I think we're right on time.
Do you need to go do
it? Nope. Give me just a moment.
Well, we're waiting for the caution to be thrown. But it's kind of crazy. 17 laps in the books. There it is. 17 laps in the books. We're doing a total of 123 miles.
Caution!
What happened?
So how do I explain this without explaining it? So we have our own little software that does race control. and normally the cautions are automated. But for some reason, our system didn't throw the caution automatically when Taylor crossed the line. So that is why the caution didn't come out originally. So
10-4. We will.
But the leader has caught the pace car. They
Yeah,
are
good
through turn 3.
We'll talk to Caleb when he gets out of pit road, because he could be talking with his team about strategy. But speaking of strategy, Gary, what kind of strategy could we see in this final run to the finish? Because we're going to get about 29 laps to the finish.
Well, these guys are going to have to pit one more time, so it's really going to be interesting. I think what you can see is a couple of things. I think you could see the drivers split the stage in half. So when we go back to green, it'll be about 30, like you said, maybe 29 laps to go. So I think it's really going to depend on when we go back green. We could see them split it in half. We could also see them try to short pit it to where they'll come in right when that window opens with about 20 to go, where they can just sit here and top off fuel at the end. It's all going to depend on how the tires are looking after this run right here, because we basically went a full fuel reload there in the first stage.
Yes. I think they could have gone an extra 2 laps, but we were starting to get very, very, very light in the fuel tank.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. And I do see, it looks like there were a couple of drivers that opted to pit before the stage caution. So we'll see how it all pans out. You know, tire wear is going to be the biggest thing I think the teams are going to be looking at here. Because if they get a new set here, they probably won't change for a set of tires anyway when they come in to make that final pit stop. So it's going to be interesting to see how these stops go and how it all plays out.
And we have hit pit road. Everybody coming and taking service. Could we possibly see if they want to run it long, Gary, for a 8-lap run to the finish, a 2-tire, or even no tire? Do you think that could be beneficial?
I don't think you would do 2 here, just because if you want to change 2, you want to change your rear tires, but with the NASCAR rules, they only allow you to change left side tires or right side tires at a time. So maybe if we were doing sports car racing, you probably would want to be able to do that because you can change whatever tire you want. But I think for these guys, if they do decide to go long until about 5 to 8 laps to go or whatever the case might be, they're definitely going to want to take they're going to want to just take fuel only. I don't think they'll take tires at that point. They'll just do a splash and go.
All right, Gary, for you, here is our stage winner, the driver, the number 35. It's Caleb Bacon.
All right, Caleb, Gary, and AJ in the booth here. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, you did it. You've led every lap so far. You win the stage, and you stayed out front. So, obviously, everybody pitted with you there. How were the tires looking after that first run? Did you change them, or did you just decide to keep the same 4 tires that you had on in the first stage here?
No, I mean, I think we're pretty good right now. This Axis Toyota Tundra is rolling right now. Yeah, I mean, we feel pretty good about how we're looking for the race. We've got very minimal fall off, me and Justin as well. And so right now, I mean, we just went ahead and took tires just because it's kind of almost like a free pit stop because everyone's going to have to pit anyway. So we took tires and fuel and basically just kind of reset from where we're at. And yeah, we're going to try and see how long we can go. We're going to try and make it last as long as we can. And
about what I predicted, I guess, go to the end for you guys then. Probably no tires on the last stop.
Yeah. So we'll try and stretch it out as long as we can. The tire wear is looking really good. I mean, I think I could have probably gone a little bit longer on the tires that I had, but might as well just get tires since it's basically a free pit stop. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you here the rest of the way. And who knows? Maybe we'll be talking to you here in about 30 laps.
Hopefully. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. And that is Caleb Bacon, everybody, driver of that number 35 Axis Racing Team Toyota Tundra. And I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be these 3 trucks, AJ, that were going to be classed in the field, the 35, the 51, and the 20. Just based off what I had heard in practice, that those guys were going to be pretty quick. I think what has surprised me the most has been the 74 of Bustos. I forgot how good of a road racer that he is. But he's been putting on a good showing here, running top 5 all night. But I mean, everybody's been running pretty decent. Ben Corson's been running top 10. Michael Thwaites up from 12th to 8th. Paul is down a couple of spots, but still solidly in that top 10 through the first stage.
Yeah, and let's talk about our biggest mover of the race. You mentioned him earlier. It's the driver of the number 99 Ford F-150 sitting in 12th plus 12. It's Nate Orlowski doing a great job keeping it on the racetrack. The truck looks nice and clean in the Extreme Motorsports default scheme. But if he can continue to do what he's been doing and keep it on the racetrack, look for him to possibly sneak into that top 10.
Yeah, he definitely has the potential to do that here tonight, surprise a lot of people. I mean, shoot, even surprise himself running the top 10. So if he can keep that up tonight, I think he's going to be really happy with his results here at the end of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gary, can you confirm something? Kyle Miller in the chat said there's a limited fast repairs.
Oh, shouldn't be that way. But it probably is.
Well, that means you could just fix your car, but if you have to end up towing, then you're kind of in trouble because you're gonna sit there for 2.5, 3 minutes. Our caution period is brought to you by Elite Entertainment. You see the beautiful logo on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. That is good old Adam Caps as pace car is away, and we are green again here in Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, and Caleb Bacon decided to run with it.
Yeah, he's definitely got the truck to beat tonight. I think it's really going to be a battle from second on back here tonight.
As
yeah,
I mentioned,
is difficult.
As I mentioned, Nate Orlowski and mentioned the broadcaster's curse.
Did he crash?
Yes, sir.
Why? Why, Nate? Why? Oh, no. No. Oh.
That could have been such a bigger hit.
I bet you that's exactly what he was saying when he was about to hit that wall, too. I bet he was saying, no. Oh.
That could have been such a bigger hit. And for him, very grateful it wasn't.
Well, and definitely going to be a shot of confidence there, but it's one of those things. Got to keep your head down and keep on going because we still got a lot of racing left to do.
Yeah, you ain't joking. We are looking at 30 to go. Probably closer to 29 at this point. But Justin Opplinger and Dalton Fredericks, is there a chance that 51 and 20 could have maybe not have shown their hands in that first stage, as the 51 is really putting a lot of pressure on the 35?
Yeah, and those aren't teammates. I mean, it's very well possible. Or it could have been one of those things where maybe the 51 and the 20 maybe made some minor mistakes where the 35 ran a little more flawless through stage one. So it very well could be a combination of the two. Because, and you kind of have seen broadcasts in your day. I don't care if it's a road course or an oval. You really don't want to show everything that you have early because you want to be able to have some in the reserve for later on in the race.
Uh-oh, there goes the 48. Does he get sent by the 6?
Not Mr. Clean.
I think he might have
gotten the 25's going to pile into that too.
Good. Jump into the NDNT.
Oh, no. Contact between those two drivers.
Yeah, and you're going to mention the 25, Logan Kogar.
25. He kind of just gets involved here and spins on his own self here.
Oh, evasive maneuvers from Matt Cochran. Woo!
Chi-Chi's having to make an evasive action there. Woo! Woo! Everybody making it through.
We're going to jump on board with that 51 of Justin Opplinger as he is putting all sorts of pressure on that 35. But something I've noticed with Justin here, he's really given room to the 35 entering these turns. And what is it? in like a butterfly, out like a lion. Is that what the saying is?
You know, I mean, yeah. I mean, you go in, or I like what Juan Montoya said one time of how he described Martinsville. You go into the corner like a gentleman, you come out like an animal.
Okay.
So I think that's what Justin's trying to do here. Taking it easy going into these corners, and then you come out and you want to get back on the gas as soon as you can, because in theory that will make your straightaway longer. So if you can make your straightaway longer, you're going to be in a really good spot.
As we're still on board with the 51, and you can see when it comes into these turns, he's just a little bit slower than the 35, but he makes it up through the center and on exit.
Yeah, and if you look at through these technical corners, I really do think the 51 might even be a little bit faster than that 35.
I just don't think he's pushing the issue with Caleb yet.
No, I don't think you're going to, especially with the teammate. You might push later in the race, but definitely not at this point. Not until after the last pit stop.
Yeah, just get to that last pit stop, and then it's all fair, love, and war. Oh, I am 100% aware they're teammates, Dale. The thing is, as you've seen in real-life racing and even on the sim, teammates is great, a win is better. How many times did Gordon and Jimmy get at each other's throats?
Oh, many times. Look at the crossover that the 51's able to pull. The 20 was able to send it in a little more. Let's go back and look at that, maybe.
Let's see that pass.
Yeah, give it a second look here, because that was a really good pass that Dalton was able to pull right there.
Yeah, the 51
made a mistake, a little wide, left the door open, but able to cross back down.
And away they go. That's going to open up the door even further to the 35.
Yeah, seeing those guys battle, it's just going to open the door, and also it's going to reel in that 74, Jake Bustos, as well. Yeah, your top 5 trucks, you're pretty much covering them in a blanket if you want to call 4.4 seconds in a blanket. But I mean, on a road course, you could consider it that, because I mean they're all right there on the same straightaway.
Then you have Vidal in 6th, 7th, Michael Thwaites, Ben Corson in 8th, 9th. It's Kyle Miller, and rounding out that top 10. It's Adam Capps.
Yeah, it looks like so far it might be the 6th machine now that has moved into the spot for biggest mover of the race.
Yes, plus 10. He's going to go a little wide.
Which is an extra bonus point. And I think you're going to see these guys push the lane up a little more through that double right-handed complex there. It's not quite a hairpin. There is a little bit of a straightaway there. So you are going to see them go a little bit wider, and I think they're going to be pushing that edge a little more toward the end of the race, because even though this place does take on rubber really well, at some point it really starts to get slick out there for these guys.
And you're really starting to see it as we're still looking at the 6. Going into the hairpin 6 and 7 last time by, or 5 and 6, I'm sorry. He just slid right through it, and I really thought he was slowed way up.
Yeah, and it is part of the technique of racing a stock car or a stock truck, I guess you could say, at some of these road courses where you just gotta you gotta push the car to its limit, and you gotta let it slide a little bit. But you also got to keep in mind too, that does wear out your tires.
Yeah. Those are going to be key later on.
Yeah, you're going to want those, especially if you're looking to just do a fuel-only stop for your last pit stop of the race.
As you see the 51 now pressuring the 20. Kind of a reverse from a couple laps ago.
Yeah, 51 all over the back bumper of that number 20 of Dalton Fredericks. just I wouldn't call it payback. I wouldn't call it that necessarily, but you know, this golden rule of racing. Racing how you want to be raced. You want to put the pressure on me, I'll put it back on you. Next time rules are reversed.
Michael Thwaites, Ben Corson coming through the final couple of turns side by side.
Yeah, it looks like Ben able to defend pretty decent as the 12 gets sideways there. Out of turn number 10.
Gonna say
Mike,
if they
gonna have to retry that pass again.
Yeah, if they could have stayed side by side, the 12 would have had the preferred lane entering turn 1.
Yeah, and so far, I mean, I thought we would really have more incidents down here, AJ in turn number 2, but we really haven't had a whole lot of. I mean, we've had some slide offs, but not as many as I thought we were going to have.
Yeah, for the most part, they were just on the initial start of the race and the restart after the stage. Other than that, we've been relatively clean through the first couple turns.
Yeah, we have, as Kyle Miller's pushing or no, that was Mike Campigio pushing the limits there in turn 2. Seeing if he can get a little more out of the truck. This place is really technical, and you just see the yaw in the rear end of these trucks and how they're just moving around and sliding around on you in every corner.
Wonder if the 24s may be clipping too much of these these curbs.
Yeah, you very well could be. I mean, you do want to use all the racetrack and use the curbs, but also at the same time, you don't want to use too much.
Yeah, he was airborne.
Getting two wheels up in the air like you'd see at Sonoma.
You almost he almost needed a flight number. Yes, here's
From
Taylor
Canada
Bertram,
to Chicago.
Bertram and Logan Kogar, the 5 and the 25, as they're battling.
What a defensive move by Taylor there. Oh, there goes the 25.
As long as he keeps it to the inside, we should stay fine. We're going to watch that again.
And the 5 did nothing wrong here. The 25 didn't do anything wrong either. I think he might have clipped a little bit too much curb there in that last corner and upset the truck when he was trying to get back into the gas for the exit of turn number 10. Just pushing it a little too hard trying to get around that 5.
Yeah, well, once again, a driver that makes a mistake, and able to just limit it to himself, not taking anybody else out, holding the brake, and letting everybody else go by, and then rejoining. It's bad. It's got to feel bad enough if you make a mistake and have an issue, but it's got to feel worse if you end up causing other people to. So kudos to him for locking it up.
Yeah, doing a good job there, keeping it out of harm's way, and going through with it here tonight for sure.
As our top 3 are right around his second apart. Caleb Bacon in the 35, 7/10 lead over Dalton Fredericks. And
I wonder if that 20 truck is yelling, "Here, kitty, kitty."
I don't know. Last time by, Dalton Fredericks with a 1:21.77 to Caleb Bacon's 1:22.15. Dalton and Justin Opplinger, a hundredths of a second difference.
Well, that just tells me both faster than the leader, but the problem is are you able to capitalize and get to the back bumper and be faster for the they're faster for the whole lap. We know that, but getting it down into sectors at this point to make sure that you can keep staying consistent and closing in on them during the entire lap. Yeah, Caleb ran a 21.64. Dalton ran a 21.86. And Justin ran a 22 flat there. That last time by. Those were your lap times across the start-finish line for first through third.
Yeah, they're still all under a blanket.
It just seems like you can be faster for a lap, and then Caleb tries to match that. Then the next lap, it's Dalton, and then it just seems like they're kind of evening each other out, lap by lap.
Watching the 26 catch the 47. Prim and Vidal.
Yeah, those are two teammates there at Team GTS, running each other down. I will say the best section of the course for Dalton, I've been noticing this the last couple of laps here. Dalton's really good at turn 4, 5, and 6. That left-hander going down to the hairpin, and he's really good through the hairpin and getting a good run for the back straightaway. But it just seems, Caleb, right here through these little S's coming back to the flag, is a little bit better than that 20 truck. And they're pretty much even throughout the rest of the course.
A little bit further back, it's still the 26 as he's trying to catch the 47. But last time by, a really good lap by Daniel Krim.
Ooh, Daniel got sideways right there. I don't know if you saw that, AJ, but the 47 was dead sideways there. Getting out of turn number 2, went over the curb, coming off of 2 there, and was just dead sideways.
I think it's important to tell everybody they're in their window to make it to the end of the race.
Yep, they're right there at the very edge of that window. I think you might see some guys try to go another lap or 2 just to make sure they're confident they can make it to the end. But I think you're right, AJ. They are in that window to make it to the end of this race.
And with about 12 laps on these tires, about 10 of it under a green flag condition, there's only been about a second, maybe second and a half tire fall off, so not a lot of fall off.
Yeah, not a whole lot of fall off. Definitely a lot less than what people were expecting here today. But yeah, I think it's going to be. I think you might see a lot of the guys, like I said, at the top of the stage here, probably try to split it in half, or they might go long, kind of like what you were saying. I kind of was thinking that beginning strategy there, pitting it right when it opens, was not going to be a very popular one.
As you could see, the 51 putting all sorts of pressure on Dalton Fredericks. Caps on pit road.
Yeah, he is all over the back bumper. I think he's going to try and make a move here down this Andretti straight. See if he can make a move here in turn 8. Yeah, it looks like he said Caps was the first one to make a pit stop happen. There were a couple of other guys too. I think Joe Darnell came in and pitted. So pit stop's starting to open up.
Logan Kogar pit on 29, and then the only other one, Adam Caps at 31. Everybody else is. Which Kogar,
no, you're right.
Kogar might be outside of that number, but he's also currently not running. Actually, I don't even think he's here.
No, he disconnected. Hunter Hastings back out on the track, though. I guess he had some damage and got it repaired, and he's back out front.
And the 69,
well, not out front, but back on the track.
Running Fry Trucking on the hood.
Nice. Love to see that.
But up front, Caleb Bacon is leading Dalton Fredericks by 4/10, and then Justin Opplinger by 7/10.
Yeah, I don't know what the other two were doing, but they've really been able to reel Caleb in these last couple of laps here.
Oh, you mentioned Hunter Hastings.
Did you do it again?
Oh,
Oops,
no.
I did it again. And he missed the quarter. Oh!
Right into
and he got Vidal involved in that. Oh, no. You hate to see it.
That's unfortunate for Joshua.
Yeah, he was having such a good run, too. It's definitely going to affect the handling of that truck. I would not be shocked if it causes him to pit earlier than he wants to, for sure.
Yeah, here comes the 26.
And here he comes, right on cue. Man, kind of hypnotized by this battle here between the 20 and the 51.
Oh,
They
not
reeled
the
in
only
the
one.
35, and then
Oh,
they
there it
started
goes.
battling again.
There it goes.
Hit-
Oh!
Oh, I thought he was going to be able to make a pass there. Not quite able to there. I think his next best bet is going to be 4 heading into 5.
He
If
might
he
be a
can
little
get
too
through
far
4,
away here.
Yeah, I think he's a little too far away as well. Dalton's just so good through 4, getting into 5. He could really break later than anybody else. But look at Justin here. Able to get right back to almost to the back bumper of that 20 truck.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised that 51 was going to attempt that pass through 4 and 5 if he possibly didn't wheel hop it a turn earlier when he was trying to make that pass.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, definitely did not have the best run there through 3 that particular time by. But these guys are they're not just sitting here on a Sunday drive. They're battling for all it's worth.
And it's not like they're battling to come talk to us, because there's 1, 2, 3 right there. We'll talk to all of them. Here comes Bustos down pit road.
Yeah, Bustos trying something different. He might be a guy where he might try and take tires here, but Waits is also on pit road here.
Very slow pit road. What is it, 35?
I believe, yeah, it's 35. Yep, 35 mile an hour pit road speed limit, 60 mile an hour pace car speed, so.
And you're going to have to hit it perfectly, because this is the money stop. I doubt we're going to get a yellow. I don't think we're going to get a yellow. But it also looks like we're going to have maybe a attempt of a pass going into 8.
Here it comes, going into 8, and I think Justin kind of knew that if he was going to have to make a pass, he was probably going to have to do it on the outside and see if he could set himself up for 9, which would have been the preferred line in that corner, but not quite able to get there. Oh, they're pitting. Justin's going to take the lead right here under pit stops. That'll be the first lead change here of the night.
And a point.
And a point to the championship. Yeah, I think you're probably going to see Justin pit this time by. It looks like Paul is also looking to come down pit road.
There's Dalton and Caleb in their box. Dalton's taking tires, and so's Caleb.
And
why not? They were well clear over 4th place. So, and Dalton's gonna beat him out.
Oh, yep. Dalton had just a little bit of a better pit entry, I thought, and that's all the difference. Pit road and how you get on, and how you get through the pits, how you get through your stall count. That could be all the difference, and it showed it right there.
This is the first time we're gonna see that 35 back behind somebody.
Well, and we've seen, AJ, on the ovals in particular, that dirty air with this new aerodynamic package, this new aerodynamic update from iRacing, that's been pretty difficult to pass. We haven't really seen it tested on a road course yet, so really going to see if that's going to play a factor here in the closing laps of this race.
And I think the 51...
Opplinger keeping it up for another lap.
I think he was forced with the 54 of Christopher Opplinger.
Typical teammate stuff there.
Watch, we're going to back it up so you can see it. Here's the 54 coming to pit road. And even,
you can kind of tell that he wanted to come down, but his brother was right there.
I really don't think it's going to hurt Justin horribly.
No, if anything, I mean, it might play into his advantage, having maybe a little bit newer tires. But, I mean, he also could be taking the strategy of, I'm going to split the stage in half and not take tires. And sometimes on the road courses, having older, hotter tires with a full tank of fuel is not necessarily a bad thing.
But we are looking at on a pit road from entry to exit right around anywhere from 41-ish seconds. Yeah, 41-42 for Taylor Bertram, 42 for Paul Irvin. And he's currently got a lead of about 30 seconds.
Yeah, so it's gonna pay some dividends. He's definitely gonna lose the lead out of this, but he probably might fall back to fourth. We'll just kind of have to see how it plays
Which
out
is
here on pit lane.
huge.
And he's just getting passed by Bustos now.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
No, they're coming across the line right now.
Yeah, here they
And
come.
he's
Sorry, that was
just leaving
another
his
that was
pit
another
box.
extreme car. That might have been Orlowski, I saw. Yep, there you go. There's the leaders. He's going to come out right basically in front of them as they both hit the curb there at the exit of one.
Yeah, so he's still right with the battle.
Yeah, still right here in the thick of it. Into the thick of it.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Well, I know Dale was pulling for no tires, but he took tires. He took tires. He had a 14-second pit stop there. Alrighty. Oh, and you know what the difference was? I'm looking at it here at the pit stop times. Dalton had a 13.7-second pit stop, where Caleb had a 14.1-second pit stop. So that's where Caleb got beat, was in the pit time as well.
And Justin had a 14.85.
Yes. So I think it really what it came down to was Dalton probably took a little bit less fuel. Caleb was waiting on the fueler. Dalton didn't have to because he took a little bit less and is able to just make it go.
As they're going to stay all under a blanket. You have to go all the way back to 7.5 seconds back behind Justin Opplinger is Jake Bustos. And then another 7.5 seconds to Daniel Krim, who, again, surprisingly, after the 26 had the issue of T-boning the 25, I'm pretty sure it was.
It was
He's
69.
Right, it was 69 to Hunter Hastings.
Yeah.
He's right back to Daniel Krim.
Yeah, I mean, he did pit. I think, depending on how much damage he had to take, it was all optional, I'm sure, but...
And then from Daniel Krim and Josh Vidal, 7th, 8.5 back, Michael Thwaites. And he's got a battle with Ben Corson brewing. But Gary, now that we have just over 10 laps remaining, why don't you preview where we're going the next week?
Yeah, so next week, throwback week, I got some big stuff in store for you guys next week here on the channel, and for our drivers here at Extreme Motorsports Racing. It's throwback week. So all the drivers have been asked upon to wear your old paint schemes. I don't care if it's a throwback to yourself, throwback to one of your racing idols back in the day. We're doing throwbacks next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're going to the 2008 version of Atlanta, not the new crap Atlanta that we have these days. And we're just going to go out and have a good time. And we are going to ask for some audience participation both nights here on the channel. We are going to have a Google form for you guys to complete to fill out for who y'all think has the best paint scheme out there. So be on the lookout for that next week. And we will let y'all know who wins. There is going to be a prize on the line for the winner with the best scheme between the two nights, I believe. I'll have to confirm that with Ed, but I'm pretty sure we agreed that it was going to be best on Tuesday, best on Wednesday. We'll get something. So be sure to be here, be around, and vote for your best throwback scheme next week. So something these guys will, I know they are looking forward to, and I know as a fan of watch a real NASCAR when they do throwback weekend, it's always a fun time. So. So AJ, if we're still live, we have some interesting developments here. I'm hearing from Race Control. They are reviewing the pit stop. The green flag pit stop between the 35 and the 20. Not sure if anything's going to come out of it, but they were thinking that maybe the 20 of Dalton Fredericks was maybe trying to cause the 35 of Caleb Bacon to speed on pit road. Potentially. They're still going to review it. We'll see what comes out of it. Post-race here they just gave it to the 20 here. Pass through for the 20. So he is going to be making a pass-through penalty on this pit stop here, AJ. So the 20 truck of Dalton Fredericks is going to have to make that pass through. And they're thinking, as there was contact there on pit road, as we could see right there, AJ, that maybe they were thinking that there was maybe been a case there for the 20 trying to cause the 35 to speed and get a penalty there. So they decided to meet back with giving the 20 a penalty of his own. So it is going to be a battle, AJ, between the 51 and the 35 here for the race win.
Yeah, I didn't realize my mic was muted. I hope everybody was able to see what we just showed.
I was wondering. I thought I've been sitting here talking to myself. I thought I was going to have to get Wilson out.
No, but I'm happy you were able to take what you were seeing from what I'm showing you and use it. It looks like there was a couple bumps, even on entry. I don't know if it was intentional. I doubt it, but it's still, you got to be careful with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get it. You want to maximize your pit road speed for sure. Absolutely. You want to maximize everything that you can get. But bumping a guy while they're trying to go pit road speed and you want to try and push it to the limits of speeding on pit road, that's to me, I don't think that's the best way you want to try to win the race. But racing these days, what I think is good racing etiquette, AJ, and what you probably think is good racing etiquette, or what other people think is good racing etiquette, it's such a broad, different opinion nowadays.
Oh, that just opened up the door huge for
Sure
Caleb
did.
Bacon. Opplinger
Sure
just
did
got
open the door
stuck
wide
behind.
open.
Just got stuck behind Nate.
And Nate is apologizing, thinking that they were going to take the line that he was giving him.
Well, let's get our sponsors happy one last time. We're going to go side by side. You're not going to miss a thing. You're watching XMS RICMOTECH Truck Series live on All-Star 15 TV.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back, coming to 4 to go, and they crossed the line. Bacon with a 2.5 lead over Justin Opplinger, and they have a country mile to Bustos and Fredericks after the 20 with the penalty, having to take that pass through. But Gary, it's been a barn burner of a race. At the start, I couldn't tell you who was going to win this race. I just know it was going to be a good one. And for everybody watching at home, we go road course racing one more time this week. Tomorrow night, the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series live, same time, but we are at Mid-Ohio Motorsport Park. I think that's what it's called, Gary. Am I correct?
Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Close
Sports
enough.
Car Course.
And we're not sports cars. We don't belong.
No, but the Xfinity has went there for a good couple of years.
They went there for about 5 or 6 years. Yeah, and it put on some good races too.
Yeah,
the iconic rain race there that Justin Marks won.
Yes. So. Holy cow! And look at the 35, Gary. He's blocking every single apex that 51 would try to get. But they are just so close together. Everything.
But you know what, AJ? I bet you that 35, he's probably wondering if he could get a little extra boost of energy. You know, you ever had a broken concentration while you're working or while you're calling a broadcast or while you're gaming and you feel like you just need a little extra boost of energy and focus?
Yeah, all the time. And after a long race, 100%, even the new hydration stuff.
Oh, yes. Well, you know, we're talking about W, the new energy partner here with All-Star 15 TV. They're a brand of energy drinks that are designed to be clean, flavorful, and focused on energy. Use code AS15TV to save 10% on all your orders. Visit w.gg to place your order today. And AJ, you were talking about there briefly. They have released some new hydration content.
Yeah, I'm actually drinking it right now. I probably should have showed it on stream. But It's pretty good after a workout or after like a long day of just being out in the hot sun, just to get those electrolytes back and everything. It's really replenished a lot of stuff. I actually feel pretty good. And we're closing in on 2 to go. Dual popsicle
here we
sticks
go.
up in the air.
Here's your piece for the lead.
Holy cow.
35 with the crossover. This is going to get exciting here, AJ. 2 laps of racing to go at Canadian Tire.
Oh my. And then he leaves the door open in turn 1, and Caleb Bacon's going to take it right back.
Woo! He's going to take it right back. These guys said the race is on, and here we go. 51 to 35. They are going to have some lap traffic ahead. They do have the 69 here of Hunter Hastings that he's going to have to battle with here before the end of this race.
I really thought that 51 out of the final turn with the...
Probably just going to pull right over.
Probably the move of the race. And then Caleb Bacon, no sweat, gets right alongside him and just makes the pass down in turn 1. And now the 51 has to do it all over again.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it all over again. I thought maybe the 51 would try to force the issue there. I think if we're going to see a pass, AJ, it's going to be similar to what Justin made there, going into 10, coming to the checkered. If he so desires to make a pass there. But it's going to have to happen in a hurry here as we're getting ready to come to the white flag of this thing here, AJ.
Yeah, you also got to remember they are teammates. And we've seen teammates with some fantastic battles throughout the years. I think because they're teammates, you're going to see it be an even harder battle between the two drivers.
Look at that block that the 35 put there. Smart racing move there. White flag, sponsored by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast.
There they go. You see the 35 block the apex. He's going to use the rumble strips to the inside.
Ooh, the 51 was able to run that outside lane, though, and he's going to have the preferred line going into 2.
Side by side.
Oh, the 35 almost stopped track.
Yeah, and he's going to open up the door for Opplinger as now the 35 has the preferred line.
Oh, man, it's going to come right down to the wire here, all the way through these corners. They're sliding all over the place, but it doesn't matter. They've got a country mile lead over third, so they can battle their brains out here.
Yeah, it is just them two as they're going through the hairpin here. One more shot for Justin Opplinger, maybe 2, maybe 8, and then 10. But that has grown to about a half a second. He's going to have to really do a lot to close back in.
Yeah, I think his best bet was going through 1 there, going through 2, that last lap. If he could get to the back bumper of the 35, he might use a bump and run here.
There it is, through 8, down to 2/10.
Through 9. Here they come, final corner. He's going to use the bumper.
And it's not going to
be able to get there.
Caleb Bacon is going to win. Get the pole. Take the stage. Take the most laps led. And win the race at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park.
I think, AJ, that is the first 1-2 finish in the history of Axis Racing Team right there. First place, Caleb Bacon. Second place, Justin Opplinger. 2 guys, completely different disciplines of racing in real life, with Justin racing mostly oval
Gary,
stuff.
We're not done yet.
Legacy. Oh, we got more
here's
battles?
The 6, the 12,
Here we go.
the 10, the 4.
They're all right there.
And here's another one. Rominger in the 9, and the 48 of Paul Irvin. This is for 10th place.
Everybody having some good battles here. Everybody getting through it. Paul is going to take the spot.
And Taylor Bertram's going to come home 13th.
Solid run tonight for that number 5 machine.
But just because I know it's a point, the driver of the number 6 Chevy Silverado has the All-Star 15 breast cancer awareness on the hood. Whenever you guys buy anything pink in the All-Star 15 TV store, all those proceeds do get sent over to the Susan G. Komen Fund. But he's going to be your biggest mover, plus 12. And the 35 is just ripping those donuts already. already.
Yeah, ripping those donuts at 35. That is going to be his first win, and that's going to lock him into the playoffs as well if he can make the remaining races here. So, good race tonight. Like I said, first 1-2 finish in history for Axis Racing Team here in Extreme.
Before we talk to our podium drivers, let's get our race results to the masses. Caleb Bacon winning by almost half a second to Justin Opplinger. In third, Jake Bustos. Dalton Fredericks rebounds to take a fourth place finish after the pass-through penalty. In fifth, you have Daniel Krim. Joshua Vidal in sixth. Seventh, it's Kyle Miller. Eighth, Michael Thwaites. Ben Corson in ninth. And rounding out the top 10, it's Paul Irvin. Gary, take us to 20, please.
All right, in 11th place, another solid run there tonight for Mike Rominger in 11th. 12th place is going to be Adam Capps. 13th and last truck on the lead lap is going to be Taylor Bertram. 14th, first truck a lap down. Still a solid night for Nate Orlowski, gaining 10 spots. He's going to finish 14th. 15th is going to be Matt Cochran. 16th is going to be Mike Campigio. 17th is Christopher Opplinger. 18th is going to be Joseph Darnell. 19th is going to be Hunter Hastings. Running out that top 20, it's going to be Dustin Carroll.
And Logan Cargar in 21st, 22nd, Aiden Turner, Ed Mortis Sr. in 23rd. We are just waiting for our podium drivers momentarily. And
they're already here.
Looks like they are already here. Gary, you'll take P2. I will take 3 and 1. Let's talk to our third place driver, Jake Bustos. Great job here this evening, coming home third. How does it feel? How was the truck? And looked pretty fun and eventful out there for you.
I tell you what, AJ, if you told me coming into this race that I was going to have a podium and be talking to you afterwards, I would have told you were crazy. I never in a million years consider myself a road racer. I had run another league race about a month ago here, so I at least had an idea of like my braking points or whatnot. Didn't have any practice coming into the race. I think I ran one lap and then went into qualifying and put it, I think, fifth. And I was like, oh, okay, might have a good day. And then it just had some fun with Daniel running to that first stage. That was a great time. And then after that, I was like, I'm going to pit as soon as the window opens up, call it a day, just hit my marks. And then that penalty came for Dalton, and it's super unfortunate for him. He came out of the pits about 2.5 behind me, and I told my guys on the tower with me, and I was like, he's going to run me down. And did just enough to keep him behind me, and here I am talking to you.
Yeah, well, we go from north of the border to basically all the way to the other side of the U.S. South. We're going to 2008 Atlanta. What are we expecting from that 74 next week?
I love tire wear tracks, and that's exactly what old Atlanta is. It just wears them down, makes you have to be really patient. We got a lot of good drivers here. A lot of guys know how to save. I should have some green flag runs. I like to think I'm pretty okay on the long run when it comes to tires. So really looking forward to it. Really like old Atlanta.
All right. Well, before we let you go celebrate a podium finish here this evening, plug those beautiful sponsors.
I got to thank you guys here in the broadcast. It's always a good time. I can't wait to hear Gary's beautiful voice later. All the admins here at Extreme, everything they do to put this place on. This is, one of the best leagues I've ever been a part of. It's great to be back with them. I used to run with them back in the day. Great to be back. Shout out to Gary again for reaching out to me about coming back and running here. Got to thank my guys on the war wagon with me, Johnny Eckert and Alex Boffley. They were kind of coaching me and keeping my head on, especially that last little bit when the 20 was running me down. So, yeah.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for coming and talking with us. And once again, congratulations on that P3 finish.
I appreciate it. You guys take care.
Gary,
You too.
we're going to do a little bit of a audible here. You picked Caleb Bacon, so you're going to get to interview him. So I will take the driver of the number 51. It is Justin Opplinger. Justin, great run, and holy cow, for what, the last 30 laps, you guys are under a blanket within a second of each other. You, Caleb, and Dalton, until Dalton ends up with the penalty, unfortunately. But talk about the race. Talk about how even though Caleb's a teammate, you guys were racing like you both wanted to win and what wasn't going to take second for granted. For nothing.
Yeah, that race. Yeah, it was pretty close and crazy whole race. I was kind of bummed out that Dalton got that penalty there because we were having fun trying to chase him down and kind of surprised us. But from what I've heard, it kind of pushed teammate down the pit lane a little bit. But yeah, no, it was a good race overall in the first stage and all that, and good team points day. And I wanted to win, but I was also trying to, just leave a little bit of extra room for teammates. Race hard, but don't, wreck each other. That would be the worst case scenario there. So just making sure that we both came home all in one piece and ran the best we did.
Yeah, you guys were putting on a heck of a show, especially after the pit stops. I could not have put together that with how spread apart usually road course racing gets, that we were going to have a battle for the lead like we did. But with two teammates nonetheless, and we were hoping, at least I was hoping, that we were going to see like a Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson kind of thing where you guys are teammates, you guys like each other, but the minute you guys put on those helmets, you guys are competitors. That is exactly what we saw. Coming to 2 to go, you kind of cut it to the inside of the 35. And just from there, for I think at 3 or 4 turns, you guys are side by side. How much fun was that for you?
Oh yeah, no, it was a blast. I don't get to run road courses that much, so when I do, I find it a little bit more fun than some other people may. But just because we don't do it as much, and it's a different perspective. And every single time I've ran road courses, I learn a little bit, and I gain a little bit more speed every time. So I definitely enjoy it. But yeah, I'm just glad we kept it together there and came home P1, P2 for the team points. And Christopher Opplinger and Aiden Turner kind of fell off there, but we got a pretty good points day for our team today, so that's what I'm happy about.
So one little joke here. Did your brother kind of screw you up coming down pit road?
Oh yeah, just a little bit. Like I should have told him I was going this time, but I didn't say anything because I didn't know if he already pitted or not. We didn't really communicate too well, but just a little bit. So it was fine though, because I was surprised. I came back out and I was still right behind the leaders, so we were all good.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, plug those beautiful sponsors that you have on that 51 Chevy Silverado.
Yep. First off, I'd like to give a big thanks to the good Lord above, mom and dad for the sim, RICMOTECH, great sim racing equipment, All-Star 15 TV for the broadcast, you guys up in the booth, all of our race control, and all my teammates on Axis Racing Team.
All right, dude. Well, congratulations on the P2 finish. We're heading to Atlanta next week. What are we expecting there when it's the 2008 version of the track?
Yeah, I haven't ran that many laps there recently because we got the new updated Atlanta track, but yeah, it'll be a challenge. We'll see. I got to run some test laps and get the hang of it again. It's been a while since I've been around that place, but I think we'll get the hang of it. I'm going back to my strong suit on ovals, so hopefully we can bring out a win there.
All right. Well, hopefully we get to talk to you at Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. But you enjoy the P2 finish and have a good night, my friend.
Yep. Thank you. You too.
All right. Justin Opplinger, driver of the 51, coming home second tonight. And Gary, it's time for you to interview your pick this evening, Caleb Bacon.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're 3 for 3 on interviews here tonight, and this is my first winner pick of the year, so I'll take it. Caleb, you had a good run tonight. I can't really say good; it was elite. Putting on a clinic out there. Talk about the. Well, you already talked about the first stage. We already recapped that with you on that, but talk about the second half of the race there, and talk about that pit road incident between you and Dalton a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really a whole lot, but it kind of did catch me off guard as we were going into pit lane. But yeah, I mean, I knew we had to get a good pit stop under green because he's always been good at pit stops before, and he just barely got by me coming out of the pit, so had to do a little bit of work to try and run him down, and I think he was a little bit faster than me at the time, but as the race went on before, we knew we were better on the longer run, so I think we would have had him had he not had the penalty situation happen, but yeah, it was a good run for me and Justin. The team in general, I really needed the points this week after not being able to make last week, and then my incident at Daytona. So it was a good day to be able to get those stage points for the stage, and then also to win the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Next week we head to old school Atlanta. We go to the 08 version of the track. Have you ever raced there before? And I know you're more of a road ringer, but what's your expectations for Atlanta next week?
I don't know. I haven't really run a whole lot of pavement oval in general on iRacing. It's kind of why I wanted to do the league and what Justin came to me about doing a team and everything. And so it should be pretty cool, especially since it's the old Atlanta. So it should be a little interesting. But I think we'll be set as long as he helps me out how I tried to help him out as much as I can coming to a road course, so I think we'll be all right going into next week.
Yeah, and he almost beat you there too with a bump and run at the end.
yeah, he learned from me.
There you go.
He used my own moves on me.
Oh well, it happens. I've done that to my teammates before. If they show me something, I try to use it. But any final shout outs or thank yous you want to give as we let you go celebrate the dub here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Axis Racing Team for doing so good all this year. I think we've been in the points pretty much all season, thanks to Justin for most of them. But we've done pretty good with all the other cars, and RICMOTECH for making some of the best sim racing products. I'm actually using their GT Gen 3 pedals, the floor mount version. I've had no complaints with them. They're the best pedals on the market. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll let you go celebrate the win here tonight, Caleb. Good run tonight, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, Gary. Bring us home, my friend.
Well, we had a heck of a finish here tonight at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. We go to Atlanta next week. Really looking forward to Atlanta. Going to be nice to see them sipping and sliding around there again. Tire management's going to be key. Managing your stuff is going to be key. You don't want to hit the fence there. It's very tempting at the exit of 2 and 4 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but really great race tonight. Good racing overall, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, before we close up shop, I got to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for everybody chatting with us and, keeping it nice and civil in the YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and TikTok chats. Glad to have you all here. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. It helps out the channel like you wouldn't believe. We have gained since, I'll just throw January 1st of this year, we've gained 122 people on the channel, and it's all thanks to you guys that have hit that like button and subscribed, shared it, and have done all that wonderful stuff for the channel. So thank you. Let's continue to grow this, and we're going to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course tomorrow night with the Xfinity cars. It'll be myself, Mike Campigio. Gary will be in the 27. So come support him, come support the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow night, everybody.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.